Hello, welcome back to the Renovation series. If you're new here, thanks for joining. If you're a long-time subscriber, then apologies for my 6-week hiatus. I've been super busy. I did also go on holiday, but I have been really busy and I've got loads of stuff to do in this week's episode. But before we dive into that, let's do a full recap of all the things I've done over this past 6 weeks and what's in store for us this week. I've been making some good progress with the kitchen. The last thing you guys saw was me pouring the subfloor and insulating the roof, I think, and doing some work with the step. But since then, I've had my electricians round who did all the cabling for the spotlights, sockets, appliances, blah de blah. And I then chased all of the cable runs and back boxes into the wall and then clipped all the cables in, put all the back boxes in and filled with bonding. So now the walls are pretty much ready for plaster. I've also plasterboarded about half the kitchen ceiling with insulated plasterboard. The bits that I've left, I've had to leave until this pipe is boxed in, but the majority of the ceiling is now done and I've cut the holes for the spotlights, so that will be ready for plaster pretty soon. I've also reinstalled the toilet and the sink downstairs in the utility room because my bathroom is pretty non-existent at the moment. So this is what my bathroom looks like at the moment. It is chaos in here. I don't really know how to explain all of this.
Let's rewind a little bit. Here's me from 6 weeks ago to give some context.
Now, I don't think you guys have ever really seen in the bathroom, apart from very briefly in the first episode where I couldn't even really use a camera. But the doorway to the upstairs bathroom is actually an archway from the second bedroom, so you can't access it without going through this bedroom, which is super unhelpful and not how it originally was.
As you walk in, you've got the toilet and sink on the right, which is the back wall of the house, and then on the left, you've got a pretty big shower. So my first job was to rip all of this out.
Now I've finally got rid of the shower cubicle, it's time to get rid of this wall, which is plasterboard on battens, which are then attached to the chimney breast, I think. But basically, we're just going to pull all the plasterboard off, see what's underneath, and then we will go from there.
It turned out whoever blocked up this fireplace left a little time capsule for me.
Well, it looks like this was boarded up on the 3rd of April 2008. Almost 20 years ago, to be fair. I was 8 years old. Now that I've pulled down this plasterboard wall and made a load of mess in the fireplace, I've actually decided it's going to be best if I kind of pull down half of this. This is where the door is going to go. So this is where the shower used to be, and the door is going to go about there. So I'm going to cut into this. Yeah, I'm going to cut into this, and then I'm just going to see what happens. I just did a whole bit where I just like punched through that from the other side. I didn't turn the camera on. Bash. Anyway, there's a chimney breast in this room that takes up quite a significant portion of the room. So earlier in the renovation, I had gallows brackets installed in the loft, which are basically steel brackets with a concrete lintel that hold up the top part of the chimney so that you can remove the chimney below. That's the plan anyway. So what I'm going to do is start removing the chimney breast in the attic below the gallows brackets, one brick at a time. Instead of ferrying the bricks up and down on the step ladder out of the attic, I'm going to drop them down, and I've made a little bed of insulation, and hopefully one by one I'm going to drop them into here, and hopefully they don't go through the floor. This was a pretty nerve-wracking job. Even with the brackets there, it feels like the chimney breast is just going to collapse on top of you. But once I'd got the bricks out of the bathroom and I'd removed the chimney breast to below the ceiling height of the bathroom, I was feeling a lot more confident, and I could get out the SDS drill and start really going to town on it. Once I was done pulling down the chimney, I cleared everything up and built a stud wall over where the chimney had originally been, and I also built a little stud wall where the archway had been so I can block it up. Once I'd done those things, I sort of realised I had no plan for how to renovate this bathroom, or even Googled how to renovate a bathroom, really. So I sort of just stared at it for 2 days and spiraled and got really, really stressed. But we're feeling a lot better now. So I've got a plan, which I'm going to show you now. So the overall layout of the bathroom is going to look a bit like this. You've got a floating vanity on the right-hand side as you walk in, toilet on the left, and then a bath at the back with an overhead shower. I'm going for this sort of vibe, but with these sort of tiles and chrome fixtures and fittings. There used to be a radiator here, and what I've done is move the piping through the stud wall to the new location of the radiator. I've also created a waste pipe for the bathtub, which will go through and into the existing soil pipe. I've extended the existing soil pipe as far as I can towards where I want the new toilet to be. What else have I done? The next thing I got to do is install the shower mixer and shower head and all that sort of gubbins behind this wall. Basically, the bath's going to come up to here, so halfway is there. So that's where the shower head's going to want to be. And then the shower mixer thing, where all the controls, is going to be slightly to the right, about there, I think. But it's quite a faff installing these things, because I basically have to cut big sections out of this, install it behind this, put plasterboard back over the top, and then tile over the top of it. I'm quite worried. I'm quite stressed. I don't really know how to do this. And basically, I'm going to cut a hole in this wall, and then we're just going to start seeing how. We'll just start seeing how. So that's gonna go there somehow. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, what I need to do is cut a piece of board that's gonna go in here, which will then mount to these two studs, and I can set the depth of that piece of board so that then that shower mixer is at the right depth, because I have to think about the depth that that shower mixer pops out of this wall
but I'm obviously going to be tiling it as well, so I've got to take that into account. So I'm going to make a little sort of, it's got a name and I can't remember what it is, but I'm going to call it a sled. It'll make more sense in a second when I show you. This is what I meant. So this is going to go between the two studs, set back a bit, and then the mixer will get mounted to that, and then the pipes will go. Oh God, I hope I've left enough room for the pipes. As you can tell by my tone of voice, I really wasn't in the mood on this particular day, and it just kind of went downhill from there. Oh, fuck. It's actually not going to be wide enough. Oh, this is pissing me off. Oh, I really can't be fucking bothered with this, man. Okay, that's pretty wedged there now. No, that's not going to be right. And now it's stuck. Class. Okay. I'm finally sort of understanding this. Oh, you This isn't going well. After I'd summoned the energy to complete this incredibly complicated task, it was time to actually install the shower valve.
Now that that's fitted and I've stopped having a mental breakdown, it's time to get this shower mixer ready to install onto that piece of board. So the shower that I've chosen has temperature in the middle, diverter at the top between the top shower and the hand shower, and then a tap for the bath because it fills up from here as well. I've been out and bought the right connectors for putting into this, which basically turns, these are 1/2 and 3/4 inch threads, and I need to make them 15 so that I can put 15mm pipe in there. So I need to put all these connectors in these ones, and I've bought, bear with, I don't know if you can see that, pipe sealing cord, because apparently it's better for this sort of stuff than PTFE tape, and if this leaks once you've tiled it, you're fucked. And I don't want to be.
You basically just wrap this stuff around the threaded part of the connector and then tighten the connector into the shower mixer housing. Once the connectors are all secure, I mounted the shower mixer to the wooden sled that I made earlier. I also installed a connector for the handheld shower just slightly to the left. And then once that was done, I dry fit a bunch of pipes into all of these connectors. Connecting this thing up to the mains is super boring to watch. I basically cut a few pipes, notched a few joists, connected a few pipes, and then water tested it.
Oh my God.
And there were no leaks, so now it looks like this. Whilst I've been doing this, my heating engineer had been busy in the kitchen moving some gas pipes around, which meant that I could finally box in the boiler flue and the other pipes in the kitchen using my incredible joinery skills. And that meant that I could then finish all the plasterboarding of the ceiling in there as well.
My main task today is to work out where the vanity unit is going in the bathroom, and then doing all the plumbing for it and putting new noggins in the stud work so that I can hang this floating vanity unit in there. I hate doing stuff like this because it's a lot of measuring, and I don't like measuring, to be honest. I prefer to just get it done.
Because this is a floating vanity, it's quite a lot more complicated to install, as the waste and water pipes have to be hidden in the wall behind it, and it needs secure mounting points within the wall for it to hang off. I started by taking a load of different measurements so that I could work out where I needed the pipework to go in the wall and where I needed to put extra noggins. I realised I needed to drill quite a large hole in the back of the unit for the waste pipe. I'm sure there's probably another way of doing this, but drilling it was a lot easier. You're never going to see it, and it's not going to affect the use of the vanity. I then marked out on the wall where I wanted the vanity to sit so I could work out where the noggins and pipework need to be. I cut a section out of the wall and cut some noggins to size and installed them. I then used a 40mm hole saw bit to drill a route through the studs for the waste pipe.
As you can see, I've dry fit the 32mm waste pipe for the sink. I'm going to solvent weld it up later, but now it's time to get the cold water and hot water inlets over to where the sink's going to be. If only it was that easy.
I then solvent welded the waste pipe together so it was all finished. I'd been trying to cut really small sections of plasterboard out the walls to do all this work, But then I basically realized it would just be way better if I removed all the plasterboard from these two walls and had my plasterer just go over the whole thing, because it's going to look better, and he was coming to do the kitchen anyway. So, bit of a waste of time that was.
Thanks for watching this episode. Apologies, it's a bit all over the place, but it's very reflective of my life at the moment. Just really trying to push for this house to be done, because in about a month and a half, it will be a year working on the house, and that was meant to be my deadline. So we're kind of stressed. But it will be fine. So tune in next time, whenever that may be.